Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently just floating over the Pacific Northwest, touched by melancholy, quietly pondering what the future holds. Wait, that was a bit flowery. What the hell's wrong with me? We've got a show to do! Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, you're trying to take into account the curvature of the Earth. That is 8 inches per mile squared, and that is simply not going to work. So give it up already. Special shout out tonight to former subject matter expert Brian Burton, who wanted me to work this Carl Sagan quote in. And you know what? I'm going to work it in right now. Carl Sagan once said, "Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence." And what he meant by that was, evidence is not a theory, as a note, or the other way, theory is not exactly evidence. So what I think he's getting at there is the solar system and all the amazing things about it that we have been told by science these past few centuries is not, they should have a mountain of evidence. It should require a mountain of evidence for that solar system model, for the heliocentric model. And it's just not there. So thank you, Brian Burton. So tonight's show is going to be a little different. Just wanted to kind of break it up a little bit. It was something that came to me as I was talking to our guest fairly recently on another show. It's not going to be really a dedicated mailbag show, and it's not necessarily going to be a subject matter show. It's going to be a mixed bag. In fact, that will be the little avatar or little picture I'm going to put up. It's going to be a mixed bag. The guy I'm going to bring on real quick, his name is Stephen Richards, and he and I have been on another show that I do every, Thursday night, sometimes Friday mornings. It used to be Friday mornings, but I don't think they like getting up that early. So now we pre-record it, like sometimes like Wednesday night. And then we release it. So, hey, Stephen, how's it going?
Doing good. How you doing tonight, Mark?
I'm doing pretty well. I suppose some introductions are in order. You are, if I'm not mistaken, a fairly new flat earther. Is that true?
On the YouTube channel, yes, but I've been looking into this for around like 3.5 years now.
Nice. That's excellent. What's your? Let's do a shameless plug right off the bat. What's your YouTube channel name?
Steve Richards, all undercased.
Cool. And I've seen some of the stuff you've been putting out. Pretty cool. You're growing your channel and making flat Earth videos. Real quick, again, I know we kind of covered it a little bit on Humana Story. What kind of got you into it? To start making flat Earth vids.
Honestly, one day my buddy Dylan just says, "Hey, you know what?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "The Earth is flat." And then boom, I just looked into it. Month and a half later, I was like, "Damn."
Wow.
Like, it might be flat. And now we're here today.
Nice. Is Dylan a habitual drug user?
No. Is
Dylan in a mental institution of any kind?
No, actually, he's like 2 streets over right now.
Nice. Well, it's cool. Again, word of mouth. That's great. Of course, Dylan did break the first rule of Flat Club, which is that you don't talk about Flat Club, but that's okay. That's what people do. They will sometimes talk about it. So that's great. I'm glad that you got into it. What's your and you don't have to necessarily mention me. What's your top 3, top 5 flat Earth channels at the moment? People that you kind of follow on a regular basis.
I'd probably say Matt Boylan. Yep. I watch everything new from him. I'll watch. Same thing with Eric Dubay. Yeah. And honestly, you and Jeranism.
Cool.
And that's pretty much what my YouTube
your big
recommendations are.
Nice. That's outstanding. Again, it's the community that's building this thing. The fact that everyone's pretty open about it, and what I've really loved about the whole flat Earth movement so far. I know somebody mentioned to me recently. They said, "Why don't you call it a flat Earth mission?" I go, I don't know. Do you like flat Earth mission?
The mission?
Sounds kind of like somebody said it either sounds military or it sounds like a church thing.
Yeah, it sounds too churchy for me, you know.
It's churchy.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think I agree with you there. It sounds a little. The movie. I don't know what else you could call it really besides a movement, until it breaks open and then it becomes a real thing. I'm sure somebody else will coin something for it.
Right.
But
CNN will get something on us.
yeah, that could actually happen.
The Flat Earth Bunch.
The Flat Earth Bunch. Nice. Well, I was always saying that eventually, if you wanted to turn this thing into a dark direction, there's one of two things you could do. One, you could turn it into like a religious cult, like the Flat Earth cult.
Right.
And have make up whatever, fabricate whatever you want to
get branded on you to.
Oh yeah. These two girls, underage girls, were brought into the Flat Earth cult 10 years ago.
Right.
Now they're robbing banks. Or you could, and not regretting it, and they've got these cool little tattoos. And the other one was you could go even darker, and you could do a Flat Earth terrorist group.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, so when Jaron, I don't know if you remember this, it was this really obscure thing where there was this boat up in Canada. He was a Jaronism follower, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to park this boat on the side of the road. I'm going to put Jaronism on it, flat Earth stuff, spray painted all over this white boat." Well, apparently he got bored of that after a while, and so he decided to park it in a mall parking lot. And just leave it there, a boat with on a trailer with no car attached to it. And he left this thing for days, and finally the police came and towed it away. But of course, they had to open up the canopy and make sure it wasn't. But so if you want to go down that road, you could have blown up a boat and put all sorts of flat Earth things on the side of it. But again, that draws more attention to it than maybe it deserves. You know what I mean? It always
Flat Earth, the vandalist.
yeah. I mean, you turn it, yeah. So but then you risk bringing more kids into it, because then you're just like I'm sorry, you're younger than 30?
Yes, I'm 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, I'm feeling old. Sorry, hang on. I gotta get talking to my good ear when you say that. All right. Yeah. So in your demographic, that's what they don't want. They don't want you guys to get excited about. So it's like, wait, somebody's blowing up boats, and for something I have no idea about, and you can get T-shirts for this shit. Oh wow,
right?
I'm not supposed to swear on air. Well, I mean, I can actually swear on this show, but I don't want to. I try to keep it somewhat G-rated. So sorry, guys, I'm not going to bleep it out either. I think you can say it on television now.
Really?
I think they worked that into network television. I think you can get away with it. Not maybe on the big three, ABC, NBC, and CBS, but I know on the cable stations you can.
Like UPN or something like that.
Yeah, do you watch much television?
Every now and again, I'll sit down and watch it.
All right. There's an animated show, and I only say this because again, I used to own a comic book shop. Super nerd, that is me. I may sound cool, but deep down, I have the heart of a lambda. Which is from Revenge of the Nerds. That's 1984. That totally dates me. But there's a show called Archer, and it's probably I consider it one of the best written.
Oh no, that's actually a great show.
Archer. When that came out, I was going, well, they nailed the voices between the voices, the animation, and the writing. The writing's just brilliant and dark and twisted and. It's perfect. I can't I shouldn't endorse things too heavily, but I don't care what I'd stack that up against any animated show ever made, including the writing. I mean, I know people talk about South Park and Simpsons and King of the Hill and every other animated show that's been done. I was going, look, this is about I think as good as it's going to get. Is that stuff right there?
Are they still making new episodes?
Yeah, it's a new season. They're already on episode. Really? Yeah, in fact, I could hang on. I'm looking on my 1 second real quick. Archer. We are in season 7. Season 7, we're already 5 episodes in to season 7. And they're all stellar. But you got to be an animated fan. And I'm not talking anime Japanese tentacle stuff.
No, yeah.
I'm talking regular old straight up. I mean, for an American animated series, and I know they probably subcontract some of it, but I don't think a lot of it. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Before we get into it, because what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of bounce back between potential phone calls and some mailbag, and every once in a while I'll ask you questions, just random questions. I'll be like, okay, ready? We'll do a practice one. Ready? Top 3 ice cream flavors. Go.
I have to say fudge swirl. Is sherbet an option?
Yes.
All right, so watermelon sherbet and mint chocolate chip.
Holy smokes, those were three. No, wow, that's really specific. Most people do like vanilla,
Chocolate and
chocolate.
twist.
Yeah, or strawberry or whatever.
Oh, no.
It's the third one I care about because once you get past vanilla and chocolate, then you get into that. Well, it's like, okay, what are you into? Oh, butter pecan, something ripple.
We didn't even mention chocolate.
No, that's impressive. Thank you for chocolate chip mint. I was actually that could be considered a number 3 choice for a lot of people. The green kind, right, or the white kind?
Oh, it's got to be the green.
Right on. All right. Anyway, before we do that, I'm going to put out the phone number. I know I haven't taken calls in quite a while, and that's because, well, I just didn't feel like it. So now I'm going to, and this number I'm going to give you is not going to go through the station. It's going to go straight to me. So when you pick up, don't be a jerk, don't troll or anything like that. One, I can see the numbers, I know where you're calling from, and two, just be rude. So don't, but nobody's trolled this show yet. So anyway, the number is 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. That is not a toll-free number. That is a Colorado number that I purchased, that I wanted to have a straight through because I think the sound quality is a little better. No offense to TFR, Truth Frequency Radio, real people, real radio. It's just that I like piping through this faster. And if I had a producer on the side that could vet it, yeah, maybe I'd go through the station. And just like that, a call came in. Holy smokes! Should I take it?
Do it.
All right, let's see who it is real fast. Here we go. This is coming in from 845 area code, and I'm not going to look it up. We're just going to add. You are on.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Mark. It's Mark from New York. How are you?
I am good. What is on your mind?
Oh, not much. Just wanted to say hello. Dad's still working on that translation stuff.
Oh, cool.
Having fun with that. Haven't talked to you in forever. Been waiting for you to have a call in.
Yeah, I've been fighting it for a while. Well, the big reason was I have an unlimited supply of emails. Then I started getting emails saying, "Hey, when are you going to take calls?" It's like, oh, that's great. So now I'm going to take calls from emails, and we'll go back and forth. So that's cool. So remind me again the language your dad is doing the translation for? Spanish. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. That's great.
What year 300 do you have? Your Chrysler?
2005, first year.
I have a 5. That's funny.
Yeah, I bought.
You got a Hemi?
Yeah, of course I got a Hemi. That was the big reason I got the car.
Nice.
But
my old man gave me his.
I got mine first year. I bought it sight unseen. Didn't even test drive it. Quick story about that. I was initially, and people are going to think I'm a complete dork. I really liked the Dodge Magnums when they came out because they came out the same year. And some people are saying, "Oh, why are you going to get a station wagon?" I was going, "I don't know. It's a cool station wagon. It's got a Hemi in it and the whole 9 yards. It seems kind of cool." And I had a friend that worked at Mercedes, and anyway, so he said, "Oh yeah, you can mention this code and you get actual friends and family discount for this car because this is when Mercedes owned Chrysler, or owned part of it anyway." And nobody, every time I called up a dealership, they always hung up on me because they didn't want to deal with it because they were going to lose all their commission. And so finally, a guy down in Denver called me and he said, "Look, because I do internet sales, I'm not going to make much money off the thing anyway, and your friends and family discount isn't going to hurt my bottom line." He goes, "But there's a problem." He goes, I don't sell the Magnum. I only sell the sedan version, which is the 300. He goes, "Honestly, I think you're going to like that car a whole lot better." Which is what I expected him to say. And then I kind of looked at it, I was going, you know what? Cool, let's do it. And that was it. And I never regretted it. I just love that car. It's in fact, if this thing ever gets destroyed, I'm probably going to look for that body style. I don't know when they changed, and it changed a few things. They waited till like 2008, 2009. But yeah, big fan.
Yeah, I love it. I just got it. I'm working on it. Me and the kid are making it into a toy race car.
What?
What?
Yeah, why not? I have a truck. I have an '86 Monte Carlo, and I got a '94 Firebird.
Nice,
the car was free, and my kid loves it. I gave him the Monte, so we're going to do the 300.
I'm a fan of. I also own 2 different Monte Carlos. when I was growing up. Big. It's a big coupe. I like. Nobody makes big coupes anymore. But
the 70, right? That was,
yeah. I owned a 75 and a 77.
Nice.
The 75 was such a labor of love, and I've still got pictures of that thing, and it was gorgeous. It was black with black interior, black, not the vinyl interior, but the cloth interior. It was great. But then I realized after I got it all fixed up, it was still a 70s car, and they rattle. There's a lot of little rattles, and I had forgotten about that. Once you drive the newer cars, if you're that old.
Smells.
Yeah, it smells different. It sounds a little different, and finally I just said ask for it. But I know the 80s. I know the 86 Monte Carlo that you're talking about. I kind of dug that too. That was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I gave it to the kid, so now I don't have to sell it.
Nice.
He's only 10, but he'll be driving in summer, so.
He's only 10. He'll be driving in the fall. So
exactly.
Nice. That's great. So what else? What else on your mind?
Well, one. I don't know if you saw the one email after I talked to you, or I had said, nothing goes on the East Coast as far as seminars and stuff.
Yeah.
I got an email from MUFON that they're having a symposium in Orlando.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to be there at the same exact time. And I was joking. I was like, you should send me a case of books. I'll bring them and drop them off to everybody there and mess with them.
Nice.
Too funny.
Yeah, again, remember the MUFON guy was the guy I debated that quit.
Yeah, he really pissed me off because he was not professional, and I respected most of the people that I met in that organization. I met the head of it. We had coffee at the one in Jersey. It was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and he was a nice guy.
Nice.
And I went to that, and after I came back, I kind of took a step back from all that and was like, there's something bigger here. It's not just this. There's so many pieces. Everybody has these different angles, and they're all looking at something. And then actually Crow came along, and I was like, get out of here with that. And I watched it, and I'm like, holy crap. And then I saw your stuff, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? There, at the very least, whether it is flat or round, we're being lied to. What the hell is wrong with us?
Absolutely.
And we can't get it together. I mean, I understand that they have, much better weapons. Cable TV is awfully sweet.
Yeah.
And I absolutely adore Archer, my favorite show. I watch it all the time. I go through the reruns.
Nice.
I even let my kid watch it, and we laugh our asses off.
Oh, yeah.
It is just the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, what is your opinion now, whether, all right, let's say there isn't space, we can't go to space, that's all BS, they're lying. But what about all the millions of people who have been talking about abductions and things for a long time? I don't want to just negate that.
Oh no! I think it's real. I do think people are abducted, no question. I just don't think that, and I'm not going to pick on Richard Hoagland too bad, even though he was one that bailed on the debate I was supposed to do with him.
Yes.
What was it, that I don't think they're being taken to other planets, or at least not planets as we've always been told. I do think there's protocols in place, though. I think you can abduct people every once in a while. You can take somebody from the woods or water, somebody guy that's hiking in the snow. They're real careful about that. Nobody goes out and picks up an entire town in Indiana.
Right.
That just doesn't happen. Even though sometimes we'd like a town to be picked up, not necessarily in Indiana. But I do think that they're absolutely real, and people get picked up and dropped off, and there's way too many stories, and those stories go back far earlier than regular old newspapers. So they've been talking about this for a long time. I do think it's absolutely real. I just don't think that anyone that says that they were taken to, a spherical object like Mars, they can actually describe the planet like Venus or Mars. I don't think that's the case. They may be taken to a place outside of the dome, maybe. You don't know. I mean, if you disorient somebody badly enough, you could take them through a tunnel and put them in some sort of underground ecosystem and say, oh yeah, by the way, you're on Jupiter. Who's he to say, oh, prove it. I don't believe it. You can do anything you want. So
I just watched Resident Evil, the last one just came out, Extinction or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
And they had simulated Tokyo, New York model.
Right. I remember that.
It was a fantastic domed scenario.
Yeah.
It was just awesome the way it looked and the way they had it set up.
And it was,
there you go.
And it was all underwater.
Yes, and it's like, how could you? Right. I was like, how could you not? You know, I mean, we could be easily fooled so bad, and it's horrible. You know, I walk around nowadays and I look at people and I understand how most people wouldn't would right away be like, what the hell are you talking about? The world is flat, and have an attitude. But I get so upset because it's like, you mindless sheeple, open your eyes.
Yeah.
Put down your cell phone for a minute. Yeah. You know, I mean, I watch TV, but I understand that I'm watching stuff that's all BS. You know, I'm watching it for entertainment. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I totally hear you. Yeah, and by the way, I thank you for mentioning the Resident Evil, the last one where all the simulations were underwater. Nobody's mentioned that yet, and I watched it before I was into Flat Earth, so I didn't make the connection.
Oh yeah, right. And it was. I just watched it like 2 nights ago on Netflix.
Yeah, because that's what
put on the list.
That's kind of what Rob Skiba was saying, because he was going, look, if you were going to build some sort of domed thing, the ultimate fail-safe, the ultimate safeguard would be to put it underwater in case the worst case scenario, and they actually got out. One of the comments he made was, "No one ever escapes." Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so messed up.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to download it. Thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great. I might be able to use part of it. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's hit and miss when I try to grab movie clips, and sometimes if I don't use the audio, it works. So nice. I may try to grab that. Anyway, we got to go to break here in a second. Any closing remarks?
Just keep up the good work.
All right.
Don't get upset about the stupid video. Honestly, the worst thing you did was sandals and being sleeveless.
Oh, hey, sandals. The sandals are West Coast. All right, they're cool out.
I know. Don't take it. I mean, and actually, hey, Christians are not supposed to judge until they're judged by their Lord. Correct?
There you go. Glass houses, man.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm not religious, but somebody told me that, and I was like, hey, you're right. That's BS. Why would they get upset? Everybody has to live their life, whatever you do.
I hear you.
We're all adults, as long as we're still attacking the problem, and that's the deception.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So you still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Perfect. So that was our first call, and did pretty well. We got a couple minutes to the break. Let me read an email real fast. This one will be short. Belinda writes, I am so excited. I just had someone thank me for waking them up to Flat Earth. They had been seeing my posts on Facebook. I really thought no one was seeing them, but other Flat Earthers, because many people have told me they never see my posts on Flat Earth. Belinda.
Really?
Wow. That was one of the most redundant emails I've heard. I'm not going to pick on you too much, Belinda, but seriously, you were repeating yourself. You're being repetitive. You were saying the same thing over and over. So...
Well, that's interesting because my Facebook's been acting up too. Like I haven't been able to see new posts in like 2 or 3 weeks, so it might just be a Facebook glitch that she's happy to get over.
Maybe. Good point. We're going to go to break here in another minute, and we're going to come back with Stephen. But before we go, the phone number to call in to talk to us live, and if you're listening to this after the fact, you won't be talking to us live. It is 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111. Long distance rates may apply. Please don't text that number because it's going into the switchboard. That's not going to go anywhere. You think my phone was bad when I had the landline? No, don't do that. And yes, if things go well tonight with the phones, I may keep doing this for a while.
One for one.
Also, make a quick shout out to anyone that's a subject matter expert, anybody in the military, anybody in the aerospace industry would like to get anything off their chest about what the world looks like and what they think the world looks like, and you think it's crazy and you have no one to tell. You can tell me. You can do it anonymously, or you can just do it straight on air, and we'll get you in and figure out what to do. But so far, we've had, I think, 16 different subject matter experts from all branches of the military, and it's been really, really great. So. Please, I'm waiting for NASA, Space Command, NORAD, anybody along those lines, retired or not, I don't care. And I'm trying to drag this out because I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, how many seconds? I'm trying to time this to see if the music will kick in here in a second. Because right now the music's super quiet. We're not going to hear it. Do we hear anything?
No, enough of a silence on this one.
Give it a minute. Hang on. I know. Normally I should have this, but it really varies from show to show.
They said it was 26 minutes?
Yeah, 26 minutes roughly. That's all right. If we hear something, my first fade in is a fairly quiet song by a Russian group called CCCP, which stands for the Soviet Union. The song was called American Soviets, and it was from 1986. And I still don't have anything yet. The station's still up, though, right? Are we still on?
Yeah, we should be. It's GFR Studios right there.
It's GFR Studios. Oh, I suppose we can keep talking. You know what? I'm just going to read an email until somebody cuts me off. Hopefully somebody listening. Luckily, I've got chat boxes up. People are really good. There it goes.
There we go.
Right, so it's at 27 and a half. So I got to remember that. So it's going to run a little slow. Anyway, we'll be back. More. Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, and tonight is Mixed Bag Night. It's not exactly mailbag, and it's not exactly phone calls, and it's not exactly subject matter expert. It's kind of a grab bag of everything, because I just wanted to kind of play it a little loose and kind of see how it went, because I'm kind of practicing for something else, and so I'm just kind of playing around with different formats. And tonight we've got Stephen Richards, who has a YouTube channel called
Steve Richards, all under case.
Nice. He does Flat Earth videos, and he and I have done Humanistory a few times together. Humanistory, well, that's a fun show.
It's an interesting show. It's always a good laugh. Oh,
my God. The guys at Humanistory, Mark and Christina and Brian.
Mark gets me sometimes.
Mark, he's a hoot. And again, you got to be old enough to know, back in the 90s, there was an animated show back when there was I think only the Cartoon Network was out there. When it came to animated stuff, it was called Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. And Space Ghost was a 60s animated thing, and they kind of revamped the animation and turned it into a talk show. And he had this sort of this lion, kind of this cat-like co-host, kind of like a Paul to David Letterman, or, And his name was Brack, B-R-A-K. And Brack was the funniest guy. Oh, God, he was just hilarious. He was just completely unscripted, and his dialogue was hilarious. And when I heard Mark reading, he was just reading one of the emails in passing, I immediately, I knew he was Brack. And so I've been kind of encouraging Mark or Brian to get him to read more emails. It's just great fun. So I think the three of them are great, and I like the station, I like the network, and people say, "Why do you keep doing the Humanistory?" I think because it's fun. I actually enjoy doing it. I get on there and they're a hoot.
Yeah, it's good to lay back and just have fun sometimes.
Exactly. There's no pressure. We can talk about anything. Yeah, sometimes the ratings aren't great on it, but who cares? Plus, Brian sounds like Ray Romano, even though he spends money on microphone equipment and equalizers, and he tries to butch up and try to be more. but he doesn't have to, because his other voice, you probably heard it. He does a mean Christian Bale Batman.
Oh, the Batman, that's the best one.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's better than mine, and so sometimes we'll go back and forth, Batman to Batman, and it's hilarious listening to him. But he's great. Anyway, phone number to call in, guys, if you guys want to talk about anything. If you're calling live, and you keep this number around, and maybe I'll put it in different things. I'll make sure you guys remember the number. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Is 720-897-6111. 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. And so if you call, please, again, follow the general guidelines for podcasts. Don't be rude. Don't start swearing. And, I've gotten so very few, 99.9% of the phone messages that I get on my phone, the line I use for the clues and stuff, the 303-494-6631. Most of them are very, very nice. Very few people will crank call me. Very few.
I don't see the point of that. Why would you call someone who's making videos just to bitch at them when you could just, do it on their comments?
Well, that's just it, though. It's one step. I had one guy, I'm not going to mention him by name, who was so angry because I don't look at comments. That's why. And I'll tell people, because I didn't have comments. You may or may not have known this. I didn't even turn on comments after I made Flat Earth Clues for 6 months.
Really?
A whole 6 months, and then finally Jonathan from Jersey, he was bugging me. He's going, look, people want to do this. He goes, just let them fight. Let them fight. If they want to go after each other in the comments, you don't have to get involved. Just turn it on. And so I actually had to make a video. I know probably a lot of people will do this. I actually made a video saying that I am now going to turn on comments at all the same time in all the videos. And when I did, yeah, it was just a firestorm. People just, because there were so many people who wanted to be first of all, and then, you want to be the first jerk and all this stuff. But right. The point is, I don't read comments. So reading comments was nothing I wanted to do. And so if some people know that and they really want to get my attention, I literally had a guy call me up, and he was the equivalent of of a homeless guy opening your car door and shaking you by the shoulders and saying, pay attention to me, I exist. I was like, really? So, and I talked to him, and of course, he recorded the whole phone call and made like a 3 or 4 part video series on it. Okay.
No way, really?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I'll tell you during the next break. It was. No, it was okay because I treat everything like it'll be recorded.
Just in case, yeah.
Just in case, I do not say anything to anyone where I assume that it's not going to be used later at some point. I don't generally make mistakes like that. So in his case, it said I never knew the guy, so of course he was just gonna light me up, and I mean he was an anti-flat earther, he was a globalist.
I can only assume.
Yeah, and really, he kept saying but going down the same road, like I was trying to turn it into a religious cult. And that's not exactly true. Please send donations, by the way, to Whidbey Island, Washington.
Right.
We will have robes and hoods. Robes with hoods. We're trying to determine colors, and I'll be buying 3 Rolls Royces.
All right.
No, nothing like that. All right. So anyway, before we read the next email, 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. If you are listening and you want to call in, I will talk to you live. So by all means, call in. This email comes in from Philip. Philip says, "Hey, Mark. Excellent, mate. Thanks for the guide." Oh, because I sent him my survival guide that I'll send to anybody free. I used to write this blog. It was called Urban Survival USA, and I actually came up with a survival guide for it for lazy Americans. I said, look, if you don't want to go buy supplies, you want to do any of this stuff, here, at least have the guide, and that way my conscience will be absolved.
Like survivor for what? Like a tsunami?
Anything. It didn't have to be like the end of the world or the 4 horsemen or anything like that.
Oh.
It was for any long-term power outage. So whatever causes it, earthquake, tornado, fire, flood, whatever, this guide will get you covered.
That's pretty useful.
Yeah, and so I made a video. I actually did a show on Strange World last year, and said if anyone wants a free copy of it, you can just email me at msargent23@comcast.net. And I will send it to you. It's just a 2 meg file, PDF file, and print it out. That'd probably be a smart thing to do. And yeah, it was really good because it should be free. And I felt if I make the difference in just one person's life, then it's all worth it. Anyway,
all worth it.
So he says, by the way, I'm one of those flat earth junkies you spawned, and I have a huge following. I dare say there are many like me from all walks of life who are having to keep under wraps for now. In my case, my area of expertise is medical, and the cross-contamination with flat earth to my audiences would cause an initial loss of credibility, which could turn them against natural health information that saves lives. I know. Keep up the great work, and thanks for the film of The Mixer. How nice to see the folks in person. Am a fan of Orphan Red and Robin Poe, and never miss you and Patricia as I drive and fly around the Flat Earth plane. You two have great chemistry and add such professionalism to the movement. By the way, one area that I believe hasn't been fully explored is the whole concept of free will in the revelation of the Flat Earth concept. I'll put something together for you and Patricia, and feel free to share if required. It's awesome. As for the trolls, may they smell the flowers from below, as they say in Serbia. That's a new one. Flatteningly yours, Philip. May they smell the flower. I think that's Serbia's version of pushing up daisies.
That's what I was trying to think. I'm like, what is that trying to imply? But yeah, that makes sense.
May they smell the flowers from below. Wow, that's pretty good. I think that's a little darker than pushing up daisies.
What do they think we're going to do? Just mow them all off? Globe, nope.
Nice. Let's keep going with these. How about Brian? Brian writes, "Hey, Mark, just want to say how brilliant your presentations are of the flat Earth. I'm working on a way to present this to my work colleagues." Oh, God, that'll go well.
Good luck.
Yeah, please keep me in the loop of any new developments. I have downloaded your app, also a handy tool. Life-changing work. Brilliant. Cheers, Brian. If they use brilliant and cheers usually in really quick succession, guarantee they're not American.
No, yeah,
probably from Great Britain, which means they're fine.
What's he getting at?
Let's see here. This one's a little longer. This is from Dominic. Dominic writes, and I should probably throw out the phone number one more time. Anyone wants to call and talk to us? We'll take anybody. 720-897-6111. That's 720-897, and I'm going to enunciate this, 6111. There you go. In case, they thought it was like some weird stutter thing.
1111.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in case I was doing a remix version. Hello, Mark. I'm writing to say thanks for the wonderful information you provide. I am a 6-month flat Earth convert from the UK. Another one. Go figure. Living in Byron Bay, Australia. For months, I ignored the many YouTube vids I would see on my feed until a very close pal sent me a link. He was responsible for opening my eyes many years ago to a book called The Matrix series by Val Valerian, which covered every single conspiracy in detail. I was initially hard to deprogram, but years later, he showed me Zeitgeist, among many, which blew my programmed lid, and I nearly said space, LOL. Funny. So after many hours of research, including my own distance visual checking of Surfer's Paradise from Tweed's Head across the sea at 15 miles, where I can almost see the beach and sand on a clear day, as well as other land masses that are nautical 40 miles away and still visible with the naked eye. So you have often mentioned if we had anyone we would like you to interview. I would like to see you invite Mark Knight to talk to Brooks Agnew or Richard Allen Miller, alternatively Santos Bonacci on his own, or talking to all of them. What a show that could be. Please do your best, as Brooks would be great scientific head to argue his point, and you and Mark can bring Flat Earth to the table. I love your work and hope you can acknowledge me with a brief reply to let me know if and when. Kindest regards, Dominic. Yeah, Dominic, if you're listening, this is me acknowledging that I got your email. Generally, I feel bad sometimes because I will read letters on the show, but I won't, to make it more efficient, I won't respond and read them. So I either respond or I'll read them. I won't do both.
Well, chances are if they're emailing you, they're going to listen to your show at one point or another.
You're absolutely right. I would hope so.
That's common sense. They throw that out the window.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully he'll listen. I don't know. I'm kind of focusing on subject matter experts. Stephen here is kind of an odd case because we did something on another show. So, but with other people, I don't mind talking to them. But early on last year. Got to remember, this is show 55. What we're doing right now, and I know, right? And time flies. And I already started interviewing a lot of flat earthers, early out, Rob Skiba and Jeranism and guys like that. And now I'm really kind of focused because I think it's more important. Not knocking people in the community. I'm just trying to get subject matter experts, and I wish more people would too. I've gotten very, very lucky that of all the military people that have called me and but I shouldn't even say lucky, because most of it's because it sounds too simple. I put my phone number out there. And my email address and my real name. Holy smokes, a call's coming in. Is it local? Looks like it. Let's find out. Ready?
Let's go.
Here we go. You are on. Hey.
I'm on?
You are on. You're on the air right now.
Okay.
Talking to probably several million people, so be really nervous, okay?
Elizabeth, and you never take calls.
I don't take calls, but I am tonight.
You're not taking calls because I just turn on and I don't hear what's going on. Anyway, so what do I have to talk about? Oh. I was at the Flat Earth Mixer, and I am offended that I was not invited to the after party.
Wait, who is this?
Elizabeth.
Oh, I'm I didn't know there was going to be, would you have showed up?
I wouldn't have participated.
Oh, that's you know what? That would have been fine. I think even just having drinks with you would have probably been nice. I didn't know there was going to be something. Honestly, I really didn't. It was so kind of last minute, and then all of a sudden it's like, really, and there's cameras. So thank you though. Maybe next time. Remind me next time, because you're going to come to the next one, right? Maybe. Oh, you would. Don't tell me you wouldn't come because of that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, number 2.
Okay.
I just remembered and put the pieces together. So the Art Bell, remember you were going to be on Art Bell.
Yeah.
And then he all of a sudden retired.
Yeah, he closed down the show 3 weeks after
right.
we did. Yeah.
Well, at your mixer was the One Radio guy.
Yeah.
And he also was terminated basically after talking about Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's 2.
Oh, no, there's more than that. There's 2 more. There's 4. I've done 2 shows already. In fact, one of the last ones I recently did where it kind of cut off after the first hour, that guy got shut down his station right after mine. And then there was another one that didn't even air. With Patricia and I on, if I'm not mistaken, and he did a show. I don't think I even got the archive to it, where he was telling you. During the breaks, we could tell he was gone. It was over, and that was it. So yeah, I know, right? It's really, really strange, but you're absolutely right. There's something about this that some people go completely the other way. Oh, I'll give you one. I'll give you one more real quick, and I don't necessarily mind mentioning this on air. I won't give out the exact name of the company, but one of the television people that a reality television production company out of New York who called me, the producer, really wonderful woman who was ahead of the curve. I mean, she wanted to set this thing up last year, mid last year, and when she took it to her production team in the beginning, they you could tell that she was run out of the building, more or less. That was the last project. It was like, really? That's what you're bringing? Nah.
This is being shut down more than the vaccine stuff.
Yeah. In some ways, yes. You're right. There's some hard doors that are coming down in certain places, but other places, there's no resistance. And that's the part that I'm getting mixed messages. For example, on YouTube, yeah, the count fluctuates up and down, the overall count, but I get more and more people, and you probably known some too, where they get recommended the video. It's like recommended for you, Flat Earth, and you know how easy that would be. All you have that's a couple lines of code saying if you see Flat Earth, never recommend it to anyone, and they allow it. So I don't know. I'm with you though.
Okay, let me bring up this third thing.
Sure.
So some people believe Corey Good, some people don't. But what Corey Good has said as far as seeing the Earth from afar,
yeah,
he says he sees the curvature at 160,000 feet, which is higher than that GoPro. So it doesn't disprove anything, but it still means all the math of the radius and everything is still off.
Who said this? They saw it at 160,000?
Corey Good, who is supposedly in the secret space program. And
right.
Time he's blinked somewhere through portals.
Got it.
That's why I was trying to reconcile it, but then he said this like 3 times on air. Because, it's so big, so they're everyone's asking everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. He says that he's seen the curvature, but not until 160,000 miles.
All right.
Anyway, something to think about.
All right.
Doesn't mean it's round. He didn't say it's round. And he also is very careful because the first time he was asked, he says, I don't want to interfere with what people believe or something. Like he wasn't going to say anybody's wrong or not wrong.
Sure. Okay. Cool. I'll look into that one a little bit and see what I can come up with.
Anyway, keep doing what you're doing, I guess.
Thank you.
Except for the parts where you're doing. And you just contradicted yourself so badly.
Why?
Right before I called, you were saying how you take every phone call and everything you say as if it's being recorded.
But it is being recorded.
Right. But this is right after the incident.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just makes you.
Wait, did I say something to you just now that
No, the video. Of course, if you see
Oh,
a video,
yeah. Well, no. Well, get a member though. In that video, did I say or do anything? That
I don't think I've really seen the video. I've seen
there's nothing.
I don't need to see.
It's just me getting a back rub, literally. That's literally it. I'm just sitting. I'm not even laying down. You got to watch it if you get a chance. Or you know what? Email me and I'll shoot you the raw footage of it.
I don't need to go out of my way.
Well, I'm just saying. Just email me and no. You're at the mixer and you and I have corresponded quite a few times. Your opinion means quite a bit to me, and I don't want to, I don't want to give you the wrong idea.
Anyway, is anybody else calling you?
Wow, she's trying to get off the phone. That's fantastic. No, but
I'm not my job, and this is good procrastination. Okay, here's another.
Wait, you're at work right now?
Yeah, I'm working like 11 to 11.
Oh, okay.
It's not a good fun life. This is how I distract myself.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I think it's in the news, but I saw it on somebody's blog. So
right.
This guy was a ICE worker. So ICE is in, the immigration people.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the head in public in New York on a pier, and he has a giant suicide note. And he's disclosing all the stuff about FEMA camps and all this stuff. And he's like, you could think I'm a raving lunatic. But everything I read in there is stuff that you've read everywhere else. So it's like this guy killed himself. And if he would just look online, he would know that other people know, and he could do stuff to counter it instead of just being scared. Anyway, he said they're going to come after all the preppers. So you might want to be careful when you're sending out your prepper guys.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's probably a little late now, honestly. I mean, I've got a video saying free prep guide. So but thank you. I know you worry about me, but that ship has sailed, unfortunately. That's I can't take back the prepper guide. I'm sure I'm on somebody's list. Although I've my passport is completely valid. I just got one last year, and I've been able to fly. So I'm not on a do not fly list.
Oh no, this is when if the hits the fan and it goes in crisis mode. So he's saying how there's going to be the economic crisis and all this.
Right.
And what he said they're going to do is the government will shut down electricity on purpose.
Yeah.
So people won't be communicating. You can't get your money, the whole deal, as if there was a outage, but they just basically flip the switch. And then when there is the emergency broadcasting system, they're going to say it's a cyber attack, when really it's just the economic collapse. But then they want to round up everybody and put them away. So it's all the scare stuff that everybody's seeing.
Yeah.
But we need the other side, that hopefully there's some good working when the financial collapse comes.
I completely agree with you 100%. By the way, did I send you a copy of the survival guide?
I have it.
Do you? Have you printed it out yet?
I did not print it.
You might want to print a copy.
Bank. Well, the point, if I don't have a gun, I'm
in
a losing situation.
I hear you. But, I did do that section in the manual. It's like you don't have to have a gun as long as you're comfortable with any other defense mechanism. Bear spray, knife, golf club, tire iron, whatever.
I just had a 1-hour group class on how to stop an active shooter.
Yeah.
It was so informative.
Good.
And everything they teach kids in schools is completely wrong. The guy comes in the door, and I say guy because it could be a guy, but they have kids hide in the corner. When he comes in and your eyes go far, he sees all those kids hiding, and they go after them. Where you need to be right by the door, and you need a baseball bat, and you hit them in the eyes, and they instinctively move their hands to their eyes, and you hit them again.
Yeah.
And boom, you just stop the guy from killing everybody.
Nice.
Because once they start shooting, it's 10 minutes until the police come. And that's when all the people are killed.
Yep, good point. Unfortunately, Elizabeth, I have to get to a break.
Okay, the music's on.
No, it's not yet, but it will real soon. So, hey, you have a good rest of your night at work, and I'm sorry you have to work late. And email me when you get a chance, and or call me later, and we'll wrap and stuff. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hey, you have a good night though. Okay.
Okay.
See you soon. Bye bye.
I'll say hi to all the flat earthers.
I will. Okay. So that was Elizabeth. Let me see. That was 425. And we still got a couple minutes of the break. Let me start rattling this off, and then if the music cuts us off, you still with us, Stephen?
Yeah, that's literally what I do when I'm at work. I kind of just watch YouTube videos and write notes.
Nice. Dear Mr. Sargent, hi, my name is Jim Smith Hughes. I live in the United Kingdom and have always known something wasn't right with the world we live in. I grew up like most. Earth is a globe. And in 1969, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins went and landed on the moon. For years, Armstrong was my hero until I realized the truth and was old enough to understand the scale of such an event required, but I still tried to cling to my childhood hero. Then I heard President Bush summarize a meeting between NASA and the Joint Chief of Staff in 2001, which, amongst other things, he stated the moon is still 15 years away. Hold on, what? We got there in 69 using 1940s and 50s technology, but are struggling with 21st century tech? From this point on, I realized NASA was playing with a rigged deck, and as such started my own research, not just on the moon landings, but everything NASA and the USA has been involved with, and also that of my country's government, including the royal family. I initially allowed myself to be taken up with an alien conspiracy, aka Area 51, Roswell, etc., but realized after years of peddling that I believe aliens are a smokescreen jointly developed by the United States government, NASA, British government. If you hear a siren, that's probably my ride. And joint military ventures to hide the truth, make the masses look to the heavens, and hide the truth in plain sight. Seriously? Jesus. For example, this is my belief. Stanley Kubrick aided NASA along with others under Operation Paperclip to film and hoax the moon landings and the other Apollo missions in Area 51. The CIA, NSA needed to ensure the astronauts involved didn't reveal the truth henceforth. And we're going to break. So we go. So stay tuned for the second half. Behind the scenes.
VIP.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of drug use.
Yeah, I know. How's a kite?
All right, crap, I think we're back. Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark Sargent. Tonight is Mixed Bag Night. We are doing a little bit of phone calls, a little bit of emails, and a little bit of subject matter. Except Stephen really isn't a subject matter. He's more of just like one of the guys in the Flat Earth community. Just your average Flat Earth Joe on the street. And your YouTube channel is?
Steve Richards, all undercase.
Cool. Yeah. Does some cool little Flat Earth videos, and there's a lot of people out there doing stuff, and you should be too if you haven't done so already. So we were right in the middle of an email before we get back into it. This is from a guy in Britain. I'm going to throw out the phone number real quick. Anyone wants to call in and talk to us live. 720-897-6111. That's 720-897-6111. It's not a toll-free number. It's a Colorado number. So if you're calling from overseas, just keep that in mind if you're going to think you're going to drag it out to like a long call. All right. So real fast, let's see. So was a real event and pivotal moment in mankind's history, which has nearly all film transcript data, telemetry data, etc., has been lost or misplaced. We both know why, of course. It was at this point I started to come across Flat Earth. The more I delved, the more it kept coming up. The deeper into research I got, the more I appeared. At first, I am ashamed to admit I didn't want to believe it, but I soon changed my mind when looking at Southern Hemisphere nonstop flights like Buenos Aires to Perth. I couldn't believe the multi-stops they made and the dubious way flight companies will rarely put a direct nonstop flight on their website, only to find it is fully booked the moment you go through with trying to make a payment for that flight, and they offer you the usual multi-stop. And also tracking these flights in the Southern Hemisphere, they disappear as soon as they get over sea to suddenly magically reappear 14 or so hours later. I believe Antarctica is the key. And to this end, I intend to build a drone, as small as possible with inbuilt GPS, forward-facing camera, and solar panels to provide power, and some way of feeding live images back to my computer with the intention of remote flying it to and beyond Antarctica. Should we tell him it's going to get shot down? Probably should tell him it's going to be. Dude, okay. There's two problems with what you're trying to do there. One is you're having GPS. You guide this thing. And, if you know the Matrix, it's like, look, GPS works for the system. So the fact that this thing's going to be tied into the GPS means they know exactly where your drone is, right? And even if for whatever, so they're going to be able to guide whatever they need to shoot that thing down with probably another drone.
Right.
They're just going to or hack into your drone, feed it the wrong signal, and say, okay, drop to the ground, or just sit in midair so we can get some target practice. So I don't know if I'd spend a lot of money on this, building this drone of yours. No offense. I'm not trying to say you want to do it, go ahead. I'm just saying that if it was me coming from the other side, that's what I would do. I'd stomp that thing out.
Right. And plus, he emailed it, so they can already read it now. They're like, oh, look what this guy's going to do.
Yeah.
Keep our ears pierced for him,
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Stephen, where are you located?
Massachusetts.
Oh, so you're East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So was the flip-flop thing, people don't wear a lot of flip-flops over in Massachusetts, over in the East Coast?
Well, define flip-flops. Is that like just the regular one or like the one with the toe separator?
No. Well, okay, just the regular one. Like I was wearing one without the toe separator. Weird.
Oh, yeah. I wear that. I wear those with socks all the time.
I know people is just like, why are you wearing flip-flops? I was also wearing shorts and kind of a tank top, sort of like a sleeveless T-shirt thingy. And yeah, whatever.
They have issues with that. It's just relaxed living.
Exactly. What do you think I was going to wear? I took off my dress shoes. I changed my clothes and
breathe for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. There was a call for a second, but then it blinked out. So hopefully that person will call back while I'm reading the email, but we'll find out. Anyway, so he's thinking of doing the drone thing. And then he says, we're told by mainstream it's true from the southern Atlantic after around 6,000 or 7,000 miles, the drone will come out to the Pacific Southern Ocean, but I don't think it will. It will take me some time, but I believe this is a safer way than physically trying to get there. Wow, he's actually thinking of having this. This is going to be a pretty powerful drone. Whatever, we'll see. Because I believe we stopped way before even setting foot on it. Yes, absolutely right. Your work, whoa, I went too far. Hang on. Your work and effort you put into your videos is amazing, and I want to thank you for your effort. Since coming across yourself in Jeranism, you have been influential in my research so far. Sorry, I have rambled on. I guess I just wanted to show you that I am one of the genuine ones out there who is not quick to judge or pour ridicule over debate just because it might conflict with my beliefs, and that I don't trust what any of our governments say. I would be interested to have your thoughts on my little project in terms of probability. And now, though, again, sorry to have rambled. Thank you. Kind regards, Jim from the UK. And yeah, what I said, Jim, I don't think it'd be worth it. I mean, you're going to have to use GPS. They're going to know where this thing is in 2 seconds. And once it goes off course, they've had 6 decades to protect this place.
Yeah, they perfected it.
Oh, yeah. No one's going down there. That is a tall, even if you had a sizable military force and could punch your way through, even if you could, it's a one-way ticket because when you think you're going to find, if you're going to have, all right, let me take a different tack here. If Admiral Byrd in a plane, in a series of planes took him 30 years to find it, and he was on Antarctica, he was living down there for 30 years off and on. Do you really think you're going to be able to find this thing in, one shot with a drone, with a limited, amount of energy? I just don't.
Well, it's solar powered, so.
Yeah, but what about your signal? They're going to jam it.
Well, if that's the case, he's going to have to do it in the winter time for us, so the sun is more towards the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Because there are parts of Antarctica that do go dark for 24 hours for a couple weeks.
There you go. There you go.
So he's got to time all that out.
Yeah, it's an ambitious idea, and I like that. But I hate to see people waste their money on stuff that that kind of like carnival stuff. When you go into a carnival, it's like those games of chance. They're rigged, and you have friends. It's like, oh yeah, they're throwing down money. It's like, dude, knock all 3 bottles off the table or whatever it is.
The duck one gets me. I can't do. I always lose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rigged game, and that's what you're talking about when you're talking about Antarctica. It is completely, it's all rigged, but that particular part is very, very rigged. All right, phone number to call in, everybody, is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by. That would be me. So please call in, and I'll pick you up right away, and heck, you could be a troll. Call in. Say hi. I'll probably cut you off. and then edit you out in post before I put it up on YouTube. But, you get a shot. Next one is Mark. I don't know if we got a phone call right now. It's from an unknown number. Ooh, spooky.
NASA.
All right, I know. Well, JPL actually called in when I was on Ground Zero. NASA actually did, after I got off air. Anyway, let's add him in. Here we go. Ready? Hello, unknown phone number. You are on the air. Strange world.
Hi, Mark.
Wait a minute. Who is this? Oh, I know who this. I know who this is. How are you?
I'm well. Who is this?
This is Orphan Red.
Very good.
From Vancouver, Canada, right up the road from here.
That's right.
So, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderfully well. How are you guys?
Stephen?
Doing great.
Stephen's fine. He's starting to take off his shirt right now.
Nice. You're going to have to start giving out golden tickets to future event after parties, Mark.
Ooh, nice. First of all, use a Willy Wonka golden ticket reference. You get points for that. Because I'm actually one of the few guys I know that actually has a golden ticket from the 1970 movie. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and it's pretty cool. It's actually signed to me, but it's not a one from the movie set itself. But it was given to me. It was sold to me by Mike TV. So there's the 5 kids: Augustus Gloop, Charlie Bucket, Veruca Salt, Violet Beauregard, and Mike TV. And Mike TV is actually they're all still alive. And Mike TV sold me one of a replica ticket that he had.
Well, now you'll have a template you can draw from.
Yeah. Anyway, what's on your mind this evening?
Well, 2 things. One, about the last email you read. Yep. Instead of the guy using a GPS on his drone, why doesn't he just put a little compass in there somehow and just keep flying south?
That's a good idea. He'd have to set up a secondary camera so that he could constantly watch it, unless it was electronic compass. Yeah, an electronic compass, he could hook that up. That's a good idea. I like that.
Awesome.
That's a good idea. I still don't know if he'd get very far with it, because if it was a little drone, I mean, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb when it's flying over this white area. If you have planes over this thing, they're going to be like, they're just going to lick their chops. Be like, right on, live guns, here we go. And just
he should just paint it white, and then maybe instead of having it transmitting constantly, it can just do burst transmissions on an irregular schedule. I think this guy's onto something.
The more I hear you talk, the more I think you may have read a spy manual or two. Great. Espionage, Orphan Red. Great cover, by the way. That's fantastic. Low profile. Really like it.
Amongst all my investigations, I came across a little rumor that you might have something about a new show.
As a matter of fact, yes. The rumors are true. There is a new show in the works for me. I will still be doing TFR, Truth Frequency Radio, real people, real radio. Love you, Chris and Cherie. But I'm going to be doing another show. And you're probably saying, well, why aren't you doing too much already? Are you doing something humanist story? Or are you doing your thing with Flat Earth and other hot potatoes? No, I am currently not doing anything with Flat Earth and hot potatoes anymore. Patricia Steer, the illustrious, the incomparable, the infallible Patricia Steer, and I are taking a break from the Monday show. So I do the secret show usually with her on Mondays, and that is not happening now. And that's all I can really say about it. All I can say is I'm taking a break. Everything else I will answer no comment. Only that it was a somewhat mutual decision. And there you have it. So with that extra free time, I am going to be doing another show. The title of the show I'm not going to say yet, because we're just in the process of locking down the domains, but we're working on it pretty quick, and I'm going to be getting the help from the guys that did my apps, the Android app and the Apple app over at iMobilize. They are going to be jumping in on this, and really excited about it. So it should be fun. It's going to be very similar, but it's going to be subscription based. I think we're going to follow the higher side chat model. That's the one they're actually really have become my new producers. So that's what we're going to do.
That sounds exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to that.
So am I. I was really excited too, because he's been really, he's real fast and he's real good about, because he's got all these templates built up, so it should be pretty plug and play. At this point, we're just going to try to figure out a time slot and how many shows I'm going to do, and just get in there and start doing it. So it's just going to be me flying solo, doing a show. I don't know exactly if I'm going to do guests yet. Probably don't know if I can do calls yet, depending on the format. It's going to be a little different than this, so we'll see.
I think it's exciting. This flat Earth movement's getting bigger. There are more people every day, and I think inevitably that brings about change. So I'm excited for your new show. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Thank you very much. I'm excited too, and cross my fingers again. It's a great opportunity. Everything that I've done so far has been really unsolicited, and this is just another part of the chain, which hopefully will lead to world domination. I mean, world change. World change. No, why would I say New World Order? Oh my God, I said it again. No, I meant it's going to be a good thing. And again, it has the potential to be a new golden age. And I think that Flat Earth is the most optimistic and positive of all the conspiracies, and I'm real excited to be a part of it.
I agree. And before I go, I just wanted to give a shout out to Marty Leach, who mentioned something on his Facebook this week, just the other day. I think he's reached 250,000 people who've watched his Flat Earth documentary, which is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Considering it was like a month, it was 5 weeks, something like that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for now. Good night.
Hey, you have a good night, okay?
Bye.
See ya. And there goes Orphan Red. And while we were talking with Orphan Red, Brian Burton, the former subject matter expert, wrote in, "Compass won't work." And he's actually got an opinion on it. He actually may call in the next segment. So we'll see. Anyway, we were reading about, we were just finishing up emails and a few other things. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing good, but I'm thinking, the compass thing probably wouldn't work if it was electronic, because aren't all those made to fit the globe model, the electronic compasses? Like a regular compass definitely would work, but not an electronic one.
Yeah.
It would just keep you spiraling around it, Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got a phone call. I'm never going to get through these emails. Let's see. This guy is calling in, and his name shows up. His name is Chad. Chad?
Hey, man. Howdy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, I just wanted to bring up, I saw that video that I think you liked it, with this girl sitting there talking about searching the Library of Congress.
Oh, Nicole Cote. Yeah.
Man, that is fantastic.
Yeah. Nicole Cote, good researcher. She was also the person, she got into Flat Earth just recently and offered her services. She was the one that did my banner behind me when I've done for shows and interviews with the giant It's Flat license plate. She did that for me. And so
very cool.
She contacted me and said, and I'm glad she did, because I completely missed that video, and I had to go back, and I saw hers, and she goes, "Hey, can you do a promo for this?" And she's never asked me for anything, and she knows I do trailers every once in a while. I said, "You know what? I'll do better than that. I'm going to reproduce the whole thing on my channel." And I did, and it's gotten some decent hits so far, and it's a fantastic resource. I'm so glad. Again, it only takes one person to dig up the good stuff. No stone will be unturned, and all the nooks and crannies, they will be found out.
Yeah, I came across some other flat Earth maps of a flat stationary Earth that they've got that are pushing a couple 100 years old. So it's pretty cool.
That's great. That's awesome.
Also wanted to tell you, at some point, if I get to be back on your program, definitely working on a much more in-depth research into NASA's occult symbolism as it relates to really just what I consider more like Osiris worship. Yeah. But definitely the moon missions, what was taking place with them, a lot of good information.
Well, if you want, because I was kind of waiting to see if there would be any fallout. Chad, of course, is the 32nd degree Mason that was on one of my subject matters experts.
Oh no, I'm not really a Mason. Remember, that was the.
Right. Yeah. Then you had to make the video that proved you were. And it was that was funny. I'm so glad you did that. The way you did it was perfect. And then of course then they redirected it at me. And it was like hey Mark, where's all your stuff? It's like, what? Come on, seriously. So if you want to, if you've got enough you think for another show, put something together, buzz me, maybe late this week. It's Tuesday now, maybe late this week or over the weekend. And we'll see about get you on, either next Tuesday or the week after. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm totally down for it. Totally gay game. Wow. Why did I say gay? That's so weird. Anyway. That's a little inside joke. Okay, we good then?
Yeah, definitely. You guys have a good night.
All right, have a good one, man.
Bye.
All right, so that was Chad. We had him on recently. It was the 32nd degree Mason who was talking about and a flat earther. And he
really, that's interesting.
You haven't heard that one?
No, I heard it, but I don't know. I'm just drawing blank in my head right now.
No.
People didn't believe he was a Mason.
Well, that's just it. I mean, how do you vet? I could come in, I could do a show and say, look, I belong to the Aryan Youth Movement and the Ku Klux Klan. And I could call in any radio show. There's lots of people that fake stuff. So every once in a while, you'll get somebody that'll say that the troll will come in. It's like, oh, you're not a real Mason. Rah, rah, rah. So he literally took a video of just opened up his locker, his Masonic locker, and just it's like, here's all the stuff, every certificate I've ever had, and it would have cost a lot of money to make all that stuff. But most of the vetting has gone pretty well. Everyone that I've talked to, especially from the military, they're not shy about sending me their stuff, and it worked really well right off. From the first Navy guy that took videos of his him flying into his ship, his tour of duty ship, and the training room, which I thought for sure he was going to get some trouble for, because I'd never seen the inside of a Sparrow missile system training room, which is done in like a building like a gymnasium, where everything's bolted to the floor. So you train on stuff that's not even on a boat, so that you can get used to everything without. And another call comes in. This is what I get for talking between callers. Okay, you ready?
Let's get it.
Here we go. You are on the air, Strange World, number 55.
Hi, Mark, Strange World 55. This is Scott from Schenectady. You were talking about like Freemasonry and Admiral Byrd.
Yeah. Well, we weren't making the connection, but yeah, you're absolutely right. If you were going to say that, Admiral Byrd happened to be a Freemason. True.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I kind of came to Flat Earth about a year ago. Wow, was that heavy? I was basically studying I've been at it, for probably the better part of 7 years now. I kind of dedicated my life to being a truth seeker, best I can. Of course, having said that, I mean, there's a lot of disinformation out there, of course, because I listen to you guys honestly, I don't have a life. I listen to you guys 8, 12, 16 hours a day. I'm punch up clock and going to work. And I haven't been part of that for the last 7 years. I was part of the how do you guys say it? The industrial military complex?
Yeah, the industrial military complex. Or the military industrial complex, sorry.
Yeah, I was a county worker for damn near 25 years.
Wow.
Lost my job for practicing holistic home remedies, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, the green variety. But anyway, the first thing that started me was with the darn chemtrails and that. At first, the guy turned me on to that, and I thought he was nuts and everything. Mm-hmm. Of course, people think you're nuts when you start talking about flat Earth, but I mean, geez, it's got me thinking back to when I was a kid in 72, 74 on school break. I my mom and I took a trip when I was 10 years old out to California to visit my sister Donna.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, literally, I was like a little kid at the window the whole time, looking out the window. And when you look up in the sky just keeps getting darker and darker and darker, bluer.
Yeah.
And it fascinated me. I never understood how everything worked. And, like, but when you look at the Bible and such,
mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, it reinforces it. It's not. I wouldn't go so extreme as it's the be all end all.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is God's word. I mean, somebody created all this down here. I know I sure didn't.
I hear you. It's tough to be an atheist, and if you go down the enclosed world theory, you have to believe in something. I mean, you can pick and choose whatever God you want. I mean, depending on what country you live in. But trying to be an atheist, impossible, in my opinion. So, anyway, I hate to do this to you, but I've still got a whole bunch of emails I got to read. Any closing remarks on your side?
Oh, just thank you to TFR in general. I mean, really, wherever you are, make it TFR.
Nice.
You guys are the realest, man. Seriously.
Cool.
I holler. Within the last hour, I posted something, a plug for you guys. And, like, I've quoted stuff on my own page myself, not plugging my own page. But, yeah.
You can plug it if you want. Go ahead.
No, I try to holler at my friends and wake them up because they're, asleep. And
I got you.
I think that whole Freemasonry thing, you could take that to an extreme in general. And I think a lot of that it's mostly like, Robert Bruce says there, waking up the masses.
Yeah.
A lot of that is people get lost in the language and it gets bastardized.
Yeah.
It's not as evil as you think. It's a good old boy network, and they just have basic bake sales and stuff like that. I've known plenty of them and talked to them. Great people. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're not all evil.
Yeah, no, I agree. At the lower ranks, I don't like anything. The foot soldiers all the way up to the lower level lieutenants generally don't have the bigger picture on the war. It's only the generals that know what's going on and the sacrifices that have to be made. Anyway, I got to go, man. But,
all right, bud.
Keep on.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
And thanks for being here. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. So, what was the email I was going? I haven't even started this email. It's like I'm cursed with this because the opening line of this email is, Mark, I don't know if you are a Christian. Seriously.
Oh, boy.
I know. I think I've heard you say it, but there is something that has perpetuated the flat earth, a lie just as great that has opened the door of deceit and helped the great deceiver create the ball. I believe it is because we do not even know what time it is. We do not. Welcome back to Strange World, segment 4, the last segment. And yes, Stephen, that was Joe Jackson, and that was Steppin' Out from his album Night and Day. I know, right? Which wraps up our Justin Bieber 3-hour marathon before that. Plus before that, there was the Taylor Swift Hour of Power. And before that, country music's... it was Hot Country. We were playing four hours of Hot Country. So I've gone through so many different music genres that my head's about to explode. So... where did we leave off? We had an email. You know what? Before we do the email, we might as well throw out that phone number one more time. For anyone's listening, is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. It'll come straight to me, and I'll pick it up, and I'll say, you know what? You're on the air. And if you don't say anything, or, if your connection's real bad, I'll hang up on you. Or if you're a troll, I might hang up on you. I don't like hanging up on people, but I've done a lot of tech support, so it does happen from time to time. Or I could just crumple up a piece of paper in front of the microphone and pretend there's static, and then I'll lose you. Okay, so we're in the middle of the email where they were questioning my Christianity. And this one says, how can God hear our prayers and hear our cries when we are not tuned in and do not worship him on the day he has created for us to do this on, his Sabbath? This is an even greater deception long before the ball. It perpetuates the ball. Knowing the earth is flat is almost simple in comparison and is a relatively new deception in comparison to the deceiver's first lies. When we know the time that God is on, and we live in accordance with the schedule He has created for us, and we are and will have an even deeper understanding of the truth and our Creator. And I'm going to throw in a big amen.
Amen.
There you go. Mark's Christian sermon, Tuesday nights. Steve writes, gotcha. Watched and figured it out. Was a nicely done vid by you guys. Patricia rocks. Now that I've got your ear, what do you think of this election? And do you think it has a role, the upcoming distraction, alien invasion melodrama, which may or may not be playing out this year or next? Personally, I'm waiting for someone to come back to life after a head wound. If that happens, I'm running for the hills. Steve. Wow, he threw a lot of stuff in there. Okay, first off, yeah, I think because it's an election year, something could happen. If you're gonna pull some crap like this, you want to do it during an American election year, and especially when you've got two candidates which everybody hates. You may or may not have heard me say this. Look, if it was me, if I was the one pulling the strings on this one, what I would do is if I was president and was finishing up my second term, I would make sure the candidates running against each other were so unappetizing that you would want me to run for a third term. You would want me to pause the elections. So something happens, right? Let's say something happens when a spaceship flies in the sky. It's like, well, it's obvious that we're going to have to suspend the elections, right? So
would they really have to? If the
yeah. If a spaceship landed in the sky, of course. They say, the chaos is we don't need a change. You don't change horses midstream. That whole BS. And people would look at Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and go, well, if you had to pick between the three of them, let's be honest here. Anyone that's listening out here, here's how this whole thing works. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Obama. Who do you pick between those three? Lots of people, as crappy as it is out there, lots of people would still be with the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. They would still go with Obama, even though his approval rating is horrible and, it doesn't make sense. Your other two choices are the first woman American president, not knocking women, I'm just saying that is a statistical fact, or a reality television star, Donald Trump. It's like, there's your choices. Those are your three choices. So that's why I think you would do it. That way, Obama can step in, and people would be like, "Well, he's at least better than the other two," and they won't. They wouldn't fight it. I know they wouldn't. But what he's also mentioning here about the somebody coming back to life after a head wound, that's from Revelations, where one of the, I can't remember if it was the Antichrist. I don't think it was the Antichrist itself. I think it was one of the prophets or the beast or whatever it was. Someone was going to suffer a bad head wound and come back from it. And that's what he's talking about. Oh, phone call came in. But let's answer it, shall we? You are on Strange World. Hello?
Hey.
Hey. You're on.
Hey, it's Brian, my golf.
Hey. What's going on, Brian?
Not much.
You didn't have to call the phone number. You could have just called in through regular Skype, and I would have patched you through.
Yeah, but I get that trouble out here.
Oh, okay.
With my internet, you come in and out. Real quick, compasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, problem with compasses. I'm solving this trouble. North and south, but not at the North and South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, well, hey, you can't find the South Pole with a compass because you'll end up off in the ocean. But how the heck did Admiral Byrd find the South Pole? Mm-hmm. Not being able to use a compass.
Good point. I don't think he did find the South Pole. I think he was just flying around. But you're right. He probably was looking at it at some point. But I remember it was you that I was talking to that said that, or it was a different guy that was saying when he was dealing with military officers, Australia, New Zealand, that they said that there was no South Pole. It was It was always north. It was never south.
Yeah, I think that was your ground guy.
Yeah, I think it was the ground guy.
Major.
Yeah.
Well, by their own logic, you wouldn't have to because the compass would point away from the South Pole or whatever.
Sure.
But the problem I have, I sent you a while ago, your viewers can look it up, but Google Earth, you can pull a a file that will show you where compasses point all across the world.
Ah.
And it changes the magnetics move over the last 200. It's got a 200-year thing.
Yeah.
But they move. But they haven't been at the North or South Pole at least since the 1500s, according to this from NOAA.
Interesting.
My question's always been is, they always say you can't find if you find the South Pole right now, it's pointed off into the ocean, off of Antarctica.
Good point. No play on words there. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Thanks.
But yeah, good show.
Hey,
loving your new format.
All right. I'm gonna mix it up a little because I'm trying to practice for my new show. So
right.
Go ahead.
I just tell all the listeners, hey, do the research and find the facts that we can do.
Yep.
Like compasses and everything else.
Right on.
Still working on the satellite thing, though.
Nice. All right, man. Hey, you have a good one, okay?
Hey, you too.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Moving on. The phone number to call in, of course, you guys, if you want to talk, there's a few minutes left, less than 20. Number to call in, 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111. Supplies are limited. I know they don't even really say that anymore. There's never limited anymore. In fact, they were never limited in the first place. Who am I to? Anyway, next email. A great point that I learned today from Mark Sargent. Never thought of this before. Perjury is committed every day by people who do not. And the phone keeps ringing. This is what I do. This is what happens when I don't do a call-in show for the longest time. I was like, holy smokes, a call-in show.
Waiting.
Yeah, they are. All right, you salivating dogs. Who's the next one? Here we go. Add a group call. And you are on the air, Strange World.
Yeah, Brent.
What's up?
Brent from Dallas.
Hey. What's up?
Wait a minute. Stupid phone.
You got to tell me. Got to tell me what you're drinking tonight. If you're up this late.
Coffee.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm addicted to coffee and honey at this point in my life.
Coffee sweetened with honey. I've never known that. Huh.
Yes.
All right. So what's on your mind this evening?
Well, you were talking about somebody else listening to you out there. I just want to let you know there's at least one more person.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
and in Texas, no less.
Yeah, Texas, Dallas.
Right on. Been there.
I will go way back to Orion with old Popeye and Joe. Well, Joe came on later on the thing, and there was a different roundup of people on Orion, and then they went over there to IntelliHub, and then they finally got over to Truth Frequency Radio, and at this point, I believe that Truth Frequency Radio, due to the fact that you will mention, I don't like to call it flat Earth. I think that's kind of descending. I'd like to see something like Earth seaplane or
Earth seaplane.
Yeah.
Well, I named my website deliberately. I named it enclosedworld.com. I could have done all sorts of flat Earth variations, and I didn't. And in fact, I told people I wasn't even going to do my own clues series. I could have done flatearthclues.com and .org and all that stuff, and I didn't. Just because it's way more palatable to say something else like Enclosed Earth, Enclosed World, Truman Show, The Firmaments. You just pick your poison there. But you're right.
Seaplane.
Right. Yeah, seaplane. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you want to, I'm starting a corporation to buy a seaplane, and we'll all get on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate to think of where.
And head to Antarctica and find out what the hell's going on, right?
Wow. Yep. That would be interesting. I don't know if a seaplane would actually have that sort of range. I mean, we'd have to take it all the way to Argentina or Chile first. But
like the Blue Goose or something that Howard Hughes made.
Oh, the Spruce Goose? Yeah.
Oh, the Spruce Goose. Yeah, that was Blue Goose. Thank you for correcting me.
No, it's okay. I was a
Spruce Goose.
I was kind of a fan of Howard Hughes, so yeah, that monstrosity.
Plywood.
Yeah, a big plywood plane. I was impressed. That thing could have ended badly. He could have crashed that sucker when he took it off. When he flew it on the water, but he didn't. And good for him. That he pulled it off. So, anything else that's going on?
Yeah, I just want to let you know that I had called into a couple shows, on different affiliate, alternate they call it.
Okay.
Medias and alts, and I follow Federal Jack Popeye over there. I'm USA King. Mm-hmm. USA King on Twitter.
Okay.
If you'd like to catch some of the things I've said.
Okay.
And I called in, and Jim Fetzer by any chance?
Only by name. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. I called in, and I told him that I was an admirer of his, and I was a student of his, and I just wanted to ask him a question as a student of his, because I knew that he was esteemed in my mind, and I asked him what he thought of the flat Earth theory, and I wanted to encourage him to investigate it, and oh my God, the guy got all upset. And I had the host in on the deal and everything, and the host said, "I don't have time for this." And I'm saying, "I don't either."
Yeah, some of our guys have already been working him over. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, a guy that I do stuff with every once in a while named David Weiss, I'm pretty sure he got into a long conversation with Jim Fetzer, and it was not going well. Let's put it that way. So.
Who does? I heard him on Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis also, mm-hmm. And Clyde Lewis kicked him off.
Nice.
I mean, I like the guy. I mean, he's like an eternal spout of his academia career. But he's over the horizon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is that true about the over the horizon military weapons that they indeed are not over the horizon? They just shoot straight off the top of the navel.
Yeah, they just shoot straight. There is no horizon to go over. The rail gun, I'm not going to take credit for that. The rail gun that I've been working on recently, which says it has a range of 110 miles, but the whole point of the rail gun is it's super, super fast. It's not guided. It's just really, really fast. And It's like, okay, so if it's got a range of 110 miles, that's so far over the curve that how exactly are you accounting for that? You're not using that in anything there, and they don't explain it. Nobody does. It's one of those things that's been overlooked. Again, every military guy I've talked to, the artillery guy, the tank guy, the Navy missile guy, the sniper, they're all the Army artillery guys. They're all doing the same thing. They all said, look, there's no curve, there's no Coriolis effect, there's no spinning of the Earth. The firing solutions do not take it into account. So yeah, everything when they talk about firing over the horizon, they're not doing jack. They are just firing straight into the distance, and that's all they're doing, and letting gravity do the rest. Because gravity, yes, will pull it down, but that's like anything.
Not over the horizon. Yeah.
No. I mean, when you throw a baseball, it's not the curvature that's bringing it down to the earth. All right, that's something completely different.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was a math teacher in high school, and of course I had to take. I've got at least 12 hours towards my master's in math. Mm-hmm. But there was a surveyor that came out just almost like the moment I got involved in all this.
Yeah.
I was just obeying my leader, Obama, who said, "Oh, forget the flat Earth theory.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that.
We don't have time for
the Flat Earth Society. We don't have time for that. And so everybody believed him, and so they're all following Obama.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was a surveyor guy came out, and he acted awfully nice, and he explained that he wasn't necessarily disproving, but this is what he found when he measured on land, using the surveyor techniques and everything, and he even put a little thing in his video about a surveyor's booklet and how this has been going on since the 1600s, that Rome has been measuring the land, and here's the key to solving or disproving him. In that textbook example, at the bottom of the thing, they're assuming for all their constants that he's using in his machines that the sea is curved. Okay, that's the assumption that's built into the entire calculations. Plus, he did not make his directions off the sea level. He was up in a tower pointing away. But if his constants and everything that they utilize as a surveyor, which I would akin to a technician level.
Yeah.
And somebody, well, we'll blight them with just a technician level. But if you throw up a triangle and put in two numbers, half the population in the United States doesn't even know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So, but that's, if somebody wants to get in on that, look at his basic assumptions, which have to be invariably true before you can build anything on it. If you give me some false assumptions, I can build a mathematical model that will astound you, such as the elliptical Earth or the hyperbolic Earth or the spherical Earth. If you grab that basic assumption, there's mathematical models that can be constructed on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to get that out. I feel better now.
Cool. That's cool.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
What's your name again?
My name's Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, I've had a hard time getting through on TFR. I just keep listening to programs or the.
Oh no, it's okay. This one was easy because I'm not using the TFR switchboard. I'm just using a secondary line. So this one's going straight to me. Cool. But it's still being recorded. So anyway, thank you very much. Alrighty.
No, thank you very much.
Okay.
I can't express how much I admire you for stepping out on this. Because I think I agree with you. This is a game changer.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. All right. Stephen's still with us, and we still have 7 minutes to the break. I'm gonna throw a
quick question here.
No, I don't think so.
No.
What is it?
So I was watching the Simpsons movie. You know how there's a dome, all that stuff.
Yep.
You think it was purposely portrayed for people to freak out once they realize we're under a dome, or is that just them making a movie?
No, it was absolutely predictive programming. Another call's coming in, but predictive programming, everything from the dome to Dark City to the Truman Show. This is because you'd have to do it way in advance, decades in advance.
And they've been doing it,
to get people ready for it. All right, let's see if we can take one more call. Here we go.
Let's get it.
You are on with Strange World and Mark and Stephen.
Well, good afternoon. It's good to finally talk to you. I think you and I have exchanged a few emails together, but this is Bob Tidwell.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, I thought I would call in and check the connection here, see if I could hear you okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the first time we've talked.
Right. Just I have trouble talking on the phone sometimes anyway, but seems like a pretty good connection in that.
Yeah.
I've been hearing y'all talk a lot about Admiral Byrd.
Yes.
That's one of the areas that I've done major research into, and I think I'll put some stuff together and send to you on him. Very interesting that. It's now suspected that he faked a lot of the things that he did. He did not fly over the North or South Pole. Both were faked, and I have proof on it.
Wow. I'd love to have you on and talk about it. That's fantastic.
Okay, because it looks like we're going to get a good enough connection that maybe we can do that.
Okay.
Byrd was actually booted out of the Navy as being unfit for duty. And his uncle, Senator Byrd, managed to get him reinstated as a retirement. But the retirement was as a commander, and the ranks of admiral and rear admiral were given to him after he retired. And all of the other regular admirals, none of them liked him at all.
Wow.
None whatsoever. He was very much disliked. If it's all right, I'd like to put in a plug for something I'm going to be doing coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to read your email, but since you're here, go ahead.
Okay. We're having what's called the Lightworker Celebration in Huntsville, Alabama, on Saturday the 21st. I will be in charge of the speakers, and I will be leading off the lecture series at 10 o'clock, and I will be discussing the enclosed Earth within my lecture. Now, bear in mind, I've been doing UFO commercials, or UFO lectures, done commercial too, UFO lectures for years, so I'm used to kind of sneaking things in.
Okay.
So that people don't realize what's going on, but this will be Saturday the 21st at the Dreammaker in Huntsville, and the good thing about it is it's right outside the gates of Marshall Space Flight Center. Mm-hmm. So anybody that wants to show up and approach me personally to talk about this, I'm available.
Wow. That's great. Yeah, anyone out there listening, if you didn't catch all that, rewind it and play it back.
I know you've had one person, a couple of weeks ago, that had mentioned they were in the Redstone Arsenal area.
Yeah.
So, anybody that's afraid to kind of like, I don't want to get online and do it, I'm face-to-face. I will be there, and they can feel free to approach me, and maybe we can find somebody that, I can be a go-between, and maybe we can get some kind of NASA person involved.
That's great. That's fantastic. Let me know how it goes. Obviously, I won't be there, but let me know what transpires, and we'll do an update, and we'll get you on for another show. In fact, maybe next time I won't read a statement from you. We can actually get you on.
Okay. See how that goes. Well, I'm going to drop off. It's getting just about quitting time.
Yes, it is.
I just wanted to, just call in right quick.
Well, thank you.
And I will be talking to you later.
All right. You have a good one, okay?
You too. Thank you, Mark.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was Bob Tidball. Well, we got about 2.5 minutes to the break, which is the end. I don't know if I can actually finish this email. This one's in all caps. Maybe I'll rip through it real fast. Ready? Here we go. Literally, it's in all caps. A great point there. Okay, so NASA, they know God is real. They are much more unlikely to perjure themselves because they know the truth. I would definitely be prepared to swear in the Bible that I firmly believe that the flat earth geocentric model is the correct one, because that is the Bible promoted model. There is nothing in the Word of God that even remotely suggests that the earth is a spinning ball going around the sun. Then all caps, here it goes. Those of you, I'm not going to yell, those of you who are arguing with me, please send me a screenshot with an audio attached where you swear in the Bible that you know or are extremely convinced that the spinning ball heliocentric version is the correct one. Larry Blatterman, this is your chance for you. Who's Larry Blatterman? To share your real colors. I'm looking forward to receiving confirmation from you as suggested above. Very easy to do. Your iPhone, a Bible, and a selfie with you swearing on the Bible that you are so damn sure that the earth is a spinning globe. Do I expect you to do this? No way, Jose, because you are a shill. Wow. That's my last email for the evening. That's great. And that whole section I read was in caps and tons of exclamation points and question marks.
And in bold?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, might as well. But. All right. With that, hey, thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it was really, really great. Hang on for just a minute as we wind this thing down. Thank you for everybody that called in. Thank you for everybody that emailed. We're going to keep doing this. Next week, we may do the same sort of thing. We'll see. I never know really goes from week to week. I don't plan this. Remember, the 10 Commandments are important, but there's only one thing that I follow really on a day-to-day basis, which is treat others better than you treat yourself. If you do that, the world will be a better place, in my opinion. Stephen, your YouTube?
Steve Richards, all undercase. And cool. Check out my latest video, 15 Proofs We Are Not in a Spinning Ball.
Wow, that's awesome. With that, we're going to wind down this episode 55. A year is coming on. I know I didn't do a year anniversary or anything because, honestly, I didn't know exactly when I did the 52-week thing. I probably should have looked that up. But no worries. Still working on the new show. But anyway, until next time, guys.